Well, Atlanta leaders say the city can no longer afford to be a tale of two cities, one thriving and the other left behind. A recent announced neighborhood reinvestment initiative aims to pour more than $5 billion into affordable housing, transit, and infrastructure to bridge the gap, or at least to help bridge that gap. To help us unpack how that works and what it could mean for your neighborhood, we're joined by Emory Associate Professor of Accounting, Usha Rackliffe. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right. When you hear the phrase "a tale of two cities," what does that really mean from a financial and equality perspective?
Yeah, it refers to, the haves and the have-nots, right? And so who has it and who doesn't have it. And you always want to level the playing field. For a city to blossom and flourish, you want all people to have access to the right initiatives and the right opportunities all across the city of Atlanta.
You know, when you think about it from a numbers standpoint, what metrics would be used to see if the plan is actually working?
This initiative that the city has is really about the tax allocation districts. And, the city has invested, a lot in them. There are 8 of them that are currently on. 2 of them have already sunset, like the Atlantic Station and the Beltline. But there are 8 others that are currently under consideration. Should we extend them or not? And that's where the city is talking about the $5.5 billion in investment. And so the key, I think, is for us to look at this proposed plan and say, does it make sense for the good of all people in the city of Atlanta? And so the proposal, there are people who are in favor of it and some who are not in favor of it. But the question is, are these 8 neighborhoods on the level that we would want to see? And that is it good for the city as a priority as a whole?
Usually, when you hear the price tag of this, $5.1 billion as a resident, you go, whoa,
Yes.
That's a lot of money. So typically, where does that come from?
So this is coming from property tax revenues, right? So the way the plan works is that you've got 8 tax allocation districts. And so since the last, 15, 20 years, the city has invested in some of these neighborhoods. And what they've done is it's a bit like planting a garden. You plant a garden, you want to see the flowers bloom and grow. And that's what's been happening. And so the rule on a tax allocation district is that the money should be used in that district for that district. That is the rule. And so now the question is, should we extend this plan, for those districts to keep getting the benefit and for them to go from strength to strength going forward all the way to the year 2055 for the next 30 years? Or is it that we need to take that money and put it in the general coffers of the city so it helps all people of the city of Atlanta and certainly the county and the public schools? So that is the big question. So it is a lot of money, but it's coming from the property tax, revenue increase. And why did that happen? It happened because, it's the old idea, if you build it, they will come. And so if you spotlight a few areas to reimagine and reinvest in the city of Atlanta, then more business will flow in and all of that, and people will come to those places. So therefore, it increases property values and therefore property tax revenue. But the question really is, where should the money best be used? Is it in those areas, or is it for the good of the city as a whole?
We got about 45 seconds left here. When you look back at this reinvestment plan, what will it ultimately tell us whether or not Atlanta is truly going to be a tale of two cities or not? What's going to be the growth together?
Yes, you want to look at, how much we've invested, what's the return on investment been, right?
Mm-hmm.
In financial terms, that's basically what it is. If you look at the last few years, it will say 904 million in investment has generated, a good amount of funding, like 11.6 billion in funding, in new development in the city. I'm reminded of the slogan from the city of Atlanta from back when Mayor Shirley Franklin was the mayor. Remember the slogan, and it said, "Every day is opening day." Mm-hmm. And that brings a certain energy and enthusiasm and excitement. And I would always say, a rising tide lifts all boats. So if there are pockets of excellence, it's good for the city, it's good for all of us.
Usha Rackliffe, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much for your insight today.
Thank you.
All right, take care.